What is the biggest issue in modern first world society? The automation of oppression. Used to be someone had to go out and personally oppress someone, and there's only so many hours in a day, so the amount of oppression one person can conduct was fairly limited. The modern world, though, you can just set up entire systems where no one person oppresses anyone personally, yet most everyone who comes in contact with it ends up oppressed all the same. Just as modern technology industrialized war has also industrialized oppression. And it's only gotten worse now that we can have computers do the oppressing. Hot take, but influencers, I can't stand them. They are always bragging about how much money they have and how much stuff they can buy, as if that's what people should value in life. Nothing wrong with sharing as long as you're not bragging about it. And I don't hate people that have a lot of money because of their jobs. I don't really think that's a bad thing if they're either generous with it or they're not stuck up about it. Idolizing the wrong people. You spend money, you don't have to impress people that barely know you. You chase people that consider themselves a 10 and will always look for someone better. You get a degree to get a job you don't like to impress people that don't know you. Now you look around at the world falling apart with your depression. It's a self-fulfilling cycle where the worse you are when you are born, the worse you'll have it will end up being for you when you are an adult. The worse off you are, the poorer you are, the worse your emotional and family circumstances are, the least of a shit the world seems to give about you. Increasing political polarization, black and white thinking, and purity testing. G for a resurgence of extreme right-wing and extreme left-wing totalitarian governments, like we last saw, starting with the rise of fascism and communist governments, like the USSR, China, and North Korea. The rent is more than the minimum wage worker can even afford and live comfortably. Where I live, the minimum wage is $1,575 an hour CAD, and the rent can go up to 1,500 Canadian dollars for a stupidly small studio. How is this even affordable to a minimum wage worker that pays its taxes? Something needs to be done about school shootings and all the gun violence in cities like Chicago, Baltimore, Cincinnati, and St. Louis. Short of a fascist gun buyback. Kinda wish you had to explain why you downvoted a post before you could downvote. The slew of deaths from lack of access to things like food, clean air, water, housing, and healthcare that capitalism chooses not to prevent because my economy rigged my stock portfolio. The fact that people believe in the shit called first second world, while it's the same world, most of it is fucked up and ruled by the same people, and us caring about this won't change anything. I'm all for working hard and earning money, but the average person doesn't get their fair share, and you can see it on most people's faces. Exhausted, feeling invaluable, and despair. The overall lack of reason. Feelings over facts. The lack of connection. We have more ways to communicate and less connection with others than possibly in the past 200 years. That the metrics in which we value others and award status to others are separate from what makes a good person, generally speaking. The divorcing of power from prosocial behavior. Lack of purpose. Why should we work when robots can do it all for us? Why exercise when we can play video games? Why go to school when you know your generation is screwed? Lack of purpose in life. Materialism. No sense of identity beyond what products you consume. A lack of spirituality. Propaganda destroying people's minds. Lack of empathy. Everything is so expensive and social media makes it seem like everyone else is thriving while you're falling apart in your room. Misinformation seems to be getting out of hand. People are accepting lies as truth because it fits what they want to believe. This is troubling. Governments completely forgetting that they're public servants. The position isn't there just so they can line their own pockets. Solitude. Considering how many people I have around and how fucking lonely I feel anyways. I can't imagine how it is for others. Everyone thinks everything is one-dimensional. World issues have so many different angles to think about. Unhappiness as a result of technology reducing meaningful interaction between people. GDP, carbon intensity. how much goods services you can generate per kilogram of CO2. People genuinely think there are more genders than male and female.